Hi all, welcome to Selenium WebDriver Framework Training Session 11. So today in this session I will try to start with again Selenium WebDrivers. So in this session today I will try to cover how we can scroll up or scroll down a page, and in case of any frame is available in a particular web page, how we can handle that particular frame. And definitely in any of the testing it's really important to capture the screenshot as test evidence, right? So in this session we will get to know how we can capture screenshot through Selenium script, and in case somehow like we need to upload some files, right? So we will also get to know how we can upload the file with the Selenium WebDriver. So what does it mean by scroll bar, right? So you already see, suppose in case you are opening a page and page is already not fitting in that particular browser, right? So you have to minimize, you have to zoom the browser maybe to 60%, 70%, sometimes 120% to view a particular thing, right? So you can see in the something left pane or right pane, right? Scroll bar will be available. So with the scroll bar you can drag that page, right, to a particular element, right? Okay, so now in the session we will see how we can handle those scroll bar. So scroll bar allows user to move around screen in horizontal or vertical direction if the current page scrolls does not fit the visible area of the screen. It is used to move the window in the upward or downward direction, right? We can shift that particular scroll bar to the right or left or to the up and down. To scroll using Selenium, user need to use JavaScript executor interface. So this is the interface already available in Selenium WebDriver. Whenever you are associating that Selenium JRE file, right, in your project, so definitely all these classes or the interfaces whatever available in the Selenium WebDriver, definitely you can access it directly. Okay, so user need to use JavaScript executor interface, which helps to execute JavaScript method through Selenium WebDriver. There are a lot of important functions available in that particular JavaScript executor, right? One is scroll by, windows.scrollby method, right, through which we can scroll down a page, right? So by some pixels, okay, either it will be vertically or it will be horizontally. Similarly, windows.scrolls to method, user can scroll the web page till the end of the page, means bottom of the page, by using that method. And another method is available, window.scroll into view. With that method, in case suppose I want to only highlight a particular element in the web page, right? So that particular element I can detect it with that particular method. So I will show you how we can actually use those important methods which is already available in the JavaScript executor. So I have created a class Selenium session 11 in that particular package, right, Selenium training package. Okay, and here you already seen in my first or second or third video, right, how to launch the Chrome browser, right? So system.set properties and webdriver.chrome.driver for the Chrome browsers, and we need to say give the path of the Chrome driver wherever we have set, retrieved it, right? So it is already there in my desktop. So this is the path for the Chrome driver. This is the Gcode driver, and another one is the Chrome driver, right? So I am giving that path here in the code for launching the Chrome driver. Then WebDriver interface, I am creating a instance called driver. Then one second, what is happening? Then with the help of WebDriver, I am creating a driver interface. Sorry, I am creating a variable called driver, and after that I am maximizing the driver. So driver.manage.window.maximize, and I want to pass a particular URL. It can be Facebook or other URL, right, with the help of get method. So if I open that Facebook page, right, I have opened it here. So suppose you can see, right, some scroll bar is available here, right, in the vertical horizontal direction. Suppose if I want to zoom the page, right, suppose something or more percentage, you can see another scroll bar is also coming in the down, right? So I can move down, move up like that, right? Similar way I can also move up. This is the scroll bar, and through which I can go in vertically or horizontally, right? I can go in the right direction or I can go in the upward or downward direction, left, right direction. Okay, so that is the reason scroll bar is required. Okay, Okay, so now I will see how with the help of right that particular interface JavaScript executor we can scroll a page to the left or downward direction, right? So I will create a object or instance for that interface, right? And you already know, Ankur, are you there, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
That's me.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. So you already know, in case anything, we are creating a object or instance for a class, we can directly do it, right? But in case it is a interface, we directly can't create a object or instance. So you have to typecast the driver object, right? So that was the interface. I'll be creating a object or instance, JavaScript executor. Java script executor. Suppose I am creating an object instance called JS equal to, because I need to typecast because this is the interface, right? So I have to typecast the driver. In case it is class, I can directly create an object or instance, but in the interface, I have to typecast the driver object, whatever I have created for the WebDriver interface, right? Now you can see still error message is there because I need to import it, right? JavaScript executor from the Selenium WebDriver jar file. So I need to import it from JavaScript executor interface from the workkit.openqa.selenium package. So once the import is done, you can see no error message is there, right? Error message gone, warning message is there because I did not use that particular variable anywhere, right? Then now I can use that thing, that particular variable whatever I have created, right? Suppose then I want to move down or move up, right? So I need to use that. After that, if I press dot, so I will get all the important method, right, available in that JavaScript executor. So no need to, even if you forgot, so no need to worry. Just you need to press dot. You can see all the thing is coming, right? So execute script, right? And here you can see, and I need to give it that command, right? So that is the method, right? I'll give it. Window dot. If you press dot, other thing will again come. Let's close it. Sorry. Okay. If you press dot, window dot, okay, it is not coming. Window dot. Doing some mistake. Okay, maybe it will not come. Let's scroll scroll by. Suppose if I want to scroll vertically by 100 pixels, so I need to give it the y-axis. In case it is horizontally, I have to give it the x-axis. This is the x and y-axis. So I'll be giving it right 0. So it is not move in the x-axis wise, but it will be moving in the y-axis wise. So I am giving in the y-axis to scroll vertically down by 100 pixels. So it will move down by 100 pixels. Okay, so error message is gone. Now let's run the code and let's see how the code is behaving, whether it's moving or not. Because if you open the Facebook page, so it in the lower right, so there was no scroll bar available, so you can't see actually. Only the vertical wise there was a scroll bar available, right? So you can easily see whether it's moving down, right, by 100 pixel or not. You can see it is moving by 100 pixel, right? Here it is moving that portion. Now suppose if you want to move it to 200 pixels, right, or 300 pixel, or here also you can give it. So at the same time you can move it x and y axis wise, okay, but here you will not able to see because definitely in the x axis nothing was there, right? So but you can give it in the both direction. So this is the for x axis, that means horizontally, and this is for y axis, which is means the vertically, right? So if you run your code, so you can see the differences. It will move by 300 in the y axis, but x axis obviously you will not able to see anything. We have given 100 pixels. Let's run the code and let's see. So it will opening the Facebook page. After the page is fully loaded, it will try to shift that by x axis, horizontally you can see it is right 300 pixels vertically, but horizontally you will not able to see exactly because there was no scroll bar available. In case if you zoom the page, so definitely scroll bar was there, or maybe you can, if you are opening other page, definitely scroll bar was there and you can find it out, the movement, right? So that's why I can move it to the vertical or horizontally. Then next I will show you how we can, right, move the scroll bar to the bottom of the page. Suppose you do not know how many pixel you need to move it, but you want to go to the bottom of the page, right? So definitely you will not be using that x-axis or y-axis. Instead of that, you will use that command, right? So I will be using that methods already available instead of x and y-axis. js dot execute script, and I will be using that window dot scroll to. Instead of scroll by, it will be scroll to. Scroll to, and here we need to give it, right, 0, that it means the axis. The vertical wise I am not moving anything, so sorry, I mean right, horizontally I am not moving anything, but vertically I want to go to the bottom of the page, so it will be document dot body dot scroll height. So that is the important thing you need to remember, body dot scroll height. Because Java is also case sensitive, right? So exact wording you also need to remember it. Now it's, I think no error message is there. So let's run the script and let's see whether it is not moving anything to horizontally, but vertically it is moving to the bottom of the page, right? So with this particular command, user can scroll the web page till the end or bottom of the page by using that methods, right? Let's run the code and let's see whether it's happening or not. You can see it is coming at the bottom, right? Because in the, I mean, vertically there is no other places available where you can scroll bar can move, so it is coming to the bottom of the page. So that is the important methods available in that JavaScript executor interface. The last ones, another important method for scroll down collab is like, if we want to identify particular elements, right? So how I can scroll to that element only, right? So we need to, if user need to scroll down to a particular element, we need to use window dot scroll into view and then element, right? Suppose say I want to scroll into element, right? So I need to identify the element, right? So let's zoom it to 100%. Suppose say I go to any particular whether it's a link, right? That link I need to go scroll down to the link, right? So I need to identify that element first, or maybe I need to scroll down to that option, sign up or login, right? So I need to inspect that element, right? So let's create the XPath. Let's inspect the element. So here you can see this link text is href, right? So I can use that link text. Okay. Similar way, if I want to use other thing, right? Suppose say create a page, so I can also use that link text. So I need to either press F12 button or I need to click on the inspect button, right? So that I can find that element first. Okay. So I will create a web element, right? First I will create a web element for that particular options, right? Create a page. So let's identify the element first. Let's comment it out. After the creating the JavaScript executor variable, I will create a web element. Which name I am giving is element. I want to find out with the link text, right? Because it is a hyperlink, right? So it can be link text. I can find it out. Driver dot find element, then by dot link text. I can use it, and link. What is the link name? Right, you can get it, that is the link name, so I can simply use it. Okay, so then web element has been detected. Element I already inspected it. Error message is coming because I need to web element, right, that class from the org.openqr.selenium, right? So element I have already identified which element I need to, scroll down, right? I need to identify. Then with that particular help of that variable whatever I have created for JavaScript executor, I will be using execute skip method. Then here I will be giving that particular command line, right? Whatever has been mentioned here, right? Arguments scroll into view, and here I am giving that element reference, right? Whatever I have created here for the web element. So simply I will be giving it. What I need to give? I need to give arguments a or guments, and within the bracket. So this is the syntax you need to remember. Then dot scroll into view, because that particular web element I need to scroll, right? That web element scroll scroll into, I will be caps view.
This part, sorry, I didn't got this part.
Okay,
This line of code.
okay, I am saying it once again, and then I will be ending the colon, and then whatever element I have created, right? I am giving that reference. 1 second, and I am closing it. Okay. So suppose I need to, instead of moving horizontally, vertically, right, or moving to the down page, I need to identify a particular element, right? So I need to definitely move my sidebar to that particular view, right? So that suppose this element I can view it, right? Or maybe I can view it to log into the button. So I need to scroll bar to that particular Excel horizontal whatever is there, and I need to only inspect the element so that I can click on it. Got it? Okay, so that it will move to that element. Suppose say if you do not use that one, suppose say I want to click on that login options, sorry, sign in option, say login option, right? So whenever page is opening, right, so you can see right now sign in option is not visible, whatever view is already there, right? So okay, so sometimes your script can work even it is not visible in the page, sometimes it will work, but sometimes it will fail because that login option is in the downside of the page. So you need to move your scroll bar to that particular view so that it will be only applicable or available, right? So login. So first I need to inspect that element, right? So you can either press F12 button or you can click like inspect button. So it is a link, right? You can see stack name is starting with A. So there are a lot of properties is there, like ID or links, link text, partial link text, CSS expert, all these things I can identify properties of a particular element, right? So for this array, right, this is the login text. So I can identify it through the link text. So suppose say I want to inspect that element. Okay. So I have created a web element whose name is element. Then whatever lines of code I have mentioned here, right? So first I will be creating an object or instance for the JavaScript executor. Then with that executor I am using execute skip method, and that similar way you need to give it. That is the command line. You need to give it arguments 0 dot scroll into view. This is the method name, and here you need to give the element reference, right? So here I am suppose say element, I am creating web element, or I can create a web element called login, right? So I need to give it that reference only here. Okay, so it will move that position. After that it will click on that. Okay, so login dot click. So it will never fail. Otherwise it can fail, right? Because it will not able to find out that element, right? So as and when you are opening the Facebook page, right? Let's open it Facebook page, and so definitely your by default your page will be 100% view, right? It will be 100% zoom, right? And you can see that that option is not here coming by default, right? So you have to scroll down in a manner that that particular option will be visible, and after that it will click it, so your script will never fail. Got it or not?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I am creating an object instance for the JavaScript. Then I am creating a web element reference with the help of web element clause, right? For that particular element, right? And after that, once I have identified the element, right, then I am using the lines of command. Execute skip is the method name, and this is the also method, right? Arguments, scroll into view, and I am giving the reference is object reference here. After that, that particular web element is visible after scrolling the scroll bar, right? Then I am clicking it, so my script will never fail. Okay, now let's run the code and let's see what is happening here. So it will open the Facebook page, it will maximize the browsers. After that, it will try to move your scroll bar in so that that particular element is visible. After that, you can see, right, it is moving that cursor and it's clicking on the login button. So your script will never fail. So that is the another importance, right? Suppose if you do not know how, whether it's down, whether it's top or button, if you do not know how many x-axis pixel or y-axis pixel you need to move it, but you just only want to identify element and you need to perform some operations, so you will be using that options, right? Scroll into view methods. Okay? Is it fine, Ankur?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then, so these are the importance method, right? Where I can move to the x-axis wise, I can move the scroll bar to the y-axis wise, or x and y-axis both the time. If I want to go to the down of the page or bottom of the page, I can move it, use it, that method, right? Scroll into scroll height, and if I want to identify particular element and scroll my scroll bar, I will be using that method, right? Scroll into view, window dot scroll into view method. So these are already available in the JavaScript executor interface. Then the next topic for today's session is frame. So what does it mean by frame? So frame is kind of embedded thing, right? So sometimes you can see, right, something frame is available, and within the frame there is some field is available. So if you do not handle that frame fast, you will not able to perform any operations. So that is the problem. That is the reason we need to handle the frame fast. So how you will know that any frame is available or not in a particular web page, right? So I am giving a simple example of a web page. Alright, so this is the web page name where some frame is available. Okay, you can see this kind of frame. Maybe sometime even if you want the look and feel also, you will not, this is the frame, right? Sometime you will not able to also view it, right, whether the frame is available or not. So what is frame? Frame is a web page which is embedded in another web page or an HTML document embedded inside another HTML document. The frame is often used to insert content from another source, such as an advertisement into a web page, right? So you know, in front of the web page there is an advertisement. So this is kind of embedded thing into a web page. So that particular thing you will not able to handle directly with the help of Selenium WebDriver. So how you will identify any frame is available or not? So just press first, go to the inspect element or press F12 button from your keyboard. Then here press Ctrl F, right, and then please use that word frame. You can see the tag name is starting with iframe, so that means some frame is available. In case iframe is not available, so in any of the web page, right, suppose say Facebook, let's try to find any frame is available or not in the Facebook normal page. So press on Windows F12 button from your keyboard or right click or click on the inspect and then press Ctrl F and then try frame. Okay, so frame can be there, but iframe tag you need to identify it. Okay, the tag is not available. Iframe word can be there, but tag, in case that tag is not available, so there is no frame. Okay, so that tag you need to remember. Here you can see it is tag, right, because it's starting, right, this is the tag. So div is the tag, right, h1 is the tag, similarly iframe is the tag. If you expand it, you can see it is coming. So in case that tag is available, so definitely some frame is available in the page. So you can see only one of one, means only one tag is iframe tag is available, that means only one frame is available, right? And if you select the iframe, you can see, so that is the portion is available in the frame, right? Understandable? So what is frame and how you can find out whether frame is available or not, right? And if you want to read through code, right, so definitely I will be passing the URL for this page. First I will be passing this page. Here. Then if I want to get to know first how many frame is available, right, through script. Here you can already see, right, if I press iframe, you can see only one option is there, right, so means only one frame is there. But if I want to run through code, right, how many pages available, frame is available, so how can I get to know how many frame is there? Okay, so I will be using the command. You already know, right, there are different things there, just like id, right, name, partial linked text, css expert, there is a option called tag name. So with that tag name I can find it out. Driver dot find element, right, so it will be elements, how many available, right, so I will be using by dot tag name. So what will be the tag name? So tag name will be iframe, right, I already showed you iframe. So that is the tag name through which I can identify. You can see iframe is the tag name, it is starting with iframe. Okay, then so how many tag is there? If I want to print it in a store in some integer, so it will be integer value, right, it will be 1 2 3 4 5, that in case nothing is available it will be 0 only, so I need to store in some integer, suppose say frame count, that is the variable I want to store it, frame count, so I can get to know. Then I need to simply integer frame count, change the type of frame to list to element. 1 second. Okay, I need to also use another word called size, then it will give you this complete size, right, so it will not be a problem. Okay, the error message is gone. Then I can print it out in the console, how many frame is available, so I can get the size of the frame, then I will just print it out, so that it will give me the count, how many frame is available. Okay, so for we need to use that, right, iframe by tag name, find elements, how many elements is available by the tag name, then with the help of size method I can get the size. I will be storing in some integer variable, I am printing it out so that I can get to know, and I also need to validate whether this is matching with that one, right, for the particular page. So it will try to open that page, it will try to find out all the element with the tag name iframe is available or not. In case it is available, it will store into that frame integer variables, and then it will print it out. So let's see the output. You can see the output is 1, right, so it is matching, right, so frame is there. And now if you do not handle the frame and if you want to perform some operation on that option, right, so okay, I want to drag and drop, right, you can see the drag and drop. So in this particular thing I will cover you how to drag and drop and how to handle the frame, right, so within that frame there are options available. I want to simply drag and drop here, right, you can see this possible. Okay, so now I will not handle it frame directly, but without handling the frame I will try to do it. So you can see it will not be possible because I need to handle the frame first. So let's comment out this code. Okay, so for that definitely first I need to go to that element, right, so I need to use that options, right, whatever we have written for here. First I will be identifying that element. Okay, so this is the part I need to identify because I am dragging it here. So drag and drop, right, so drag element, I will be identifying the element, drag element, right, I need to identify it, so I need to inspect that element, Windows F12 button, I am pressing it and I am inspecting it. drag me. So you can see that id is droppable, sorry, drag, right? Let's try to find it. Droppable. For this one is droppable, and for this one drag me. What is the id? Yeah, draggable. So this is the div id, right? I can identify the element with the help of id, which is draggable. So I will be identifying the element find id by dot id instead of link test, and I will be entering that id, draggable. Similar way, I can also create an web element for the other one, drop element. Instead of drag, it will be drop, where I am dropping it, right? So what is the id for the drop element, where I am dropping it? So you can see its id is droppable. So I am changing it. Instead of draggable and droppable. So I already inspected two elements. One is I will drag it, right? And another is I will drop here, right? So this is the two element I have identified it, right? Now next thing is that I need to, right, move that whenever I am opening the page. Okay, let's close it out and let's see. Whenever I am opening the page, right? So that thing is by default it will be there, right? And it is not able to find it out, that options, right? It is not able to identify. So I need to use that options. I need to go to that options, right? So definitely I will be using the JavaScript. In the last session I already see it, right? So in the current session also, whenever we are knowing, right, how to move to a particular element. So I will be creating an object or instance for the JavaScript executor, and then with that help of object or reference, I will be moving it to a particular location, right? So I will be using that. So that I will be identifying it, and here I am referring, so I am giving it that one. Till that portion, is it clear? Otherwise my script can fail, right? So here I am letting you know again. So I have two options, right? So in case I am not moving to that location, right, I am not able to find that element. That is the reason I am first identifying these two elements with the help of id available. Then with the help of JavaScript executor, I am creating object or instance. Then I am moving to that options, right, drag element, so that I can identify that element, right, drag, and then I can move it. That is the reason I am moving. I am scrolling my window to that portion, right? And after that I will be identifying that element, right? And then I want to drag and drop it here, right? So how we can drag and drop it? So there will be some classes available called actions, right? So I'll be using that actions class and creating an object or instance, actions, and I'm creating a object or instance called act, which is the variable I'm creating for the action class. And you already know, in case we are creating a object or instance for any class, right, we will be using the new keyword, and then I am using that class actions, and I am passing the driver reference. Okay, so my action class is created. Then with the help of here you can see some error message is there. I need to import the action class from the org.openaq.selenium.interaction packages. After that reference, right, I already have my drag element and drop element, I already know. Then with that action class I will be using some methods available here, drag and drop, right? You can see available in the action class, right? Drag and drop, I need to give the source and the target, from where and to where I am dragging and dropping, right? So I will be using it. Source is the drag element, this is the source. I want to drop it to the drop element, right? So that's what I am giving it. Then I need to use a build, build, then perform. So these are the important actions I need to perform so that drag and drop will be successful. Okay, so first I am identifying two elements. One is element which I will be dropping in some place. So this is the drag element. So that element I will be dropping into the droppable part, right? So I am identifying these two elements with the help of id available. Then as this is not easily available in the by default 100% zoom page, so I am moving my scroll bar to fit that object, right? That is the reason I am creating a JavaScript executor, and then I am moving that my cursor, right, to the drag element, so that immediately my cursor will be there, and then immediately I identify the element, then I will be using and placing it. So I need to use a actions class. With the help of action class, I will be using a drag and drop methods available in the action class, drag and drop, where I will be providing the source and the target, which I want to drag and where I need to place. This is my source, drag, and this is my target. Then once and source and target is identified with the help of drag and drop methods, I will be build and perform. So these are the two important methods. I need to perform it, right? I need to build it and need to perform it, so that will be movement will be successful here. So that is the important methods available in Selenium WebDriver, so that movement will be successful. Ankur, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now if you want to run it, your script will fail, because I already identified the element, I am moving the element, I am want to perform drag and drop. Why it is fail? Because there is a frame available. I did not handle the frame yet. That is the reason it will be not able to identify the element, because I am not handling the frame. So it will throw me some error. It will definitely open your web page, and whenever I want to identify the element, it will fail, because the element are available in the frame only, right? iframe, and I am not handling it, and you can see it is not able to identify and not able to scroll your page, and script will fail. You can see it is failing. What is the error message is coming? Unable to locate element. No such element exists, because it is not able to identify it. So that is the reason I have to handle the frame. So how you can handle the frame? Okay. So there is a option available called switch to methods available. So I can handle the frame. So here in the particular page, right, if you inspect it, sorry, if I go here, you can see only one frame is available, right? Okay. So, and what is the name of the frame? Right? You can see the name of the frame is class. That is the class demo-frame. Right? So that is the frame name, and only one frame is available. So with the help of, right, frame, so it will be 0, because in Java, right, it is starting from 0 to n-1 frame size. So that are the important thing, right? So the frame tag specifies a frame. Okay. So how user can identify in case any frame is available in the web page or not? So sometimes user can detect it from the look and feel itself. Sometimes user can't detect the frame is but just seeing the page, right? So you need to open the application with the help of IE, Chrome or Firefox. We need to right click on the page, right? So user is able to find the option called reload frame. Sometimes you can find it. If you right click here, right, you can see if the frame is available, there is an option available in the reload page, reload frame, right? In case the frame is not available, that option reload frame will not be available, right? You can see, because in the page that option is not there. So that is another way we can distinguish whether the frame is available or not. Okay, in case there is frame inside the web page, then we need to click on the F12 button and need to press on the Ctrl F, and then need to search whether is iframe word or not available or not. In case it is there, we can get the size here, right? That particular command I already showed you, by tag name dot size, and we can print the size. Okay, so how we can handle the frame? To switch between frame, user need to use driver switch to dot frame command. So there is a 3 different way available. One is I can switch to the frame with the frame number is like it's starting from 0. In case 3 frame is there, its number will be 0, 1 and 2. In case only one frame, it definitely will be by default 0. So you need to pass the frame index and driver will switch to that frame. So that one is the indexing. Another way is, right, frame ID or name, right? So that also you can pass it, right? Pass the frame element name or ID, and the number will switch it to the frame. And another one is, right, we need to pass the frame web element and driver will switch to the frame. Okay, in case any other web element is available, so you can also use it. Okay, so here how will handle the frame? I can handle the frame with the name, right? Name is, you can see the frame name is coming also here, right? Demo hyphen frame, right? You can see here iframe dot demo hyphen frame, right? In blue color. Okay, so that's how you also can get the frame, and here only one frame is available, so frame index will be by default 0, right? So here before doing the operation, after opening the page, if I want to identify the element, so I need to handle the frame first. So driver dot switch to, okay, and here I can either, I need to use frame method, right? You can see here something is coming, integer, that means index, or here I can give the string which is the frame name. So I will be giving the argument as 0. You can see it is coming by default. Okay, and I need to end with semicolon. So frame is handled, and then it will be I can identify the draggable and droppable object. Then I can move to that element location, and then, right, with the help of actions class, I can, right, drag and drop that options, draggable to the droppable options. Let's run the code and let's see how it is happening now. So I have already handled the frame, so it should work now. Should we open the page? It will handle the frame first. It will move to the location and you will dragging and dropping. You can see drag and drop is happening, right? Are you able to see it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the one way it's happening. So with the help of ID, right? Another way I can handle it with the frame name. So what is the frame name? So I can give it the frame name, right? The frame name is demo hyphen frame, right? So I can give it that name. So I need to use, what is the thing? Class. So I need to use class, right? So
Hello.
yes, hello.
Your voice. It's. I think there is a network issue. from
Okay,
your end.
okay, okay,
It's
okay.
breaking and coming.
Okay. So that is the one frame thing is there. Another is, right, I can handle it through, right, that one frame string options, right? So I will be using that options. Here I will be identifying it through driver dot find element again, and I will be identifying through class, right? So by dot class name, and here what is the class name? That is already available here, right? So that's why I can also handle it. So it can be either index or name or another one I already shared, right? The pass the frame web element and driver will switch to that frame, or name or ID. Here name or ID is not available, right? Only class is available. So I will be handling through that options. You can see here the class is available, class name. In case name or ID is there, I can directly pass that name or ID here. If just like the reference I have given, right? Index I have given, but here only class is available. So for the class, I need to again use that option. For the class, right? You already know class or other thing. Driver dot find element by class name, and that name I am giving it. So that's why I can handle it also. Let's run the code and let's see whether it's happening or not. So three way. In case ID or name is available, I can give that particular string name or ID. In case index, you know, you can do it. In case other thing is CSS or class, other thing is available, I need to find that option. Driver dot find element within that particular class, and then by or CSS or XPath or class name, and you can give that name, right? You can see drag and drop is happening. So these are the three options available for handling the frame. Is it clear now? Any more doubt? Okay. So this is the important thing you need to really know how to handle the frame. So here you can get to know three different things, right? Whether any frame is available or not, what is frame all about, how you can print the size of the frame and how you can validate it, right? And definitely once the frame is there, you need to handle the frame, and definitely if you want to drag and drop, right, something, so this is also covered here, right, how you can drag and drop. And definitely in the first topic, right, I have covered how to move your cursor or move your kind of scroll bar to a particular element. So this is the three important things covered in the first two topics. Then next topic is how to capture screenshot. So capturing screenshot is very important. Whether you are doing a manual testing or automation testing, that doesn't matter, right? Unless you are capturing screenshot, how you can pass your test case or fail a test case, because screenshot is required. Otherwise, developer will not acknowledge, or sometime even if you will not able to provide justification, right? Sometimes it's environment issue, and if you do not take a screenshot, whenever developer is giving you, they will say that is working. Why this is my screenshot? So that is the reason for any kind of testing, screenshot is required. Okay, so capturing the screenshot for the testing is one of the important script in any test automations which help user to identify defect and problems by referring the screenshot. So Selenium WebDriver provides text screenshot interface to capture a screenshot of the web page when an exception or error occurred during the execution of the code. So this is the important interface, text screenshot available in the Selenium WebDriver. When a tester tests any application, maybe many of the functionality is not working compared to the expected result. Our main objective is to match the expected and the actual result. So tester logs this defect and tells the developer about the getting of the defect in the code and suggests that there is a fix is required. Okay, so the developer will definitely fix that problem and we can retest it and then close it. But how, in case you are not providing any screenshot in the defect, right? So developer will not acknowledge your defect, because without any evidence, nobody is, right, make sure that you are right or you are wrong. So you have to provide the justification with the help of screenshot. So sometimes also developer also needs the screenshot to analyze it more in a deeper view, right? So to analyze the issue. That is why taking screenshot is one of the mandatory evidence for a tester to view and understand why the test has failed. User can take the screenshot in any of the file format. It can be PNG, it can be JPG, or it can be JPG also, right? So there are some important possible scenario where user might need to capture screenshot using the Selenium WebDriver. One is application, if there is issue in the application, some assertion failure, right? Your expected and actual result is not matching. Suppose you want to, your expectation is that it will be radio button, okay, but it is coming in a checkbox. Applications can crashes, right? You need to capture the screenshot. Difficult to find the web element of the web page, right? Sometimes web element you are trying to inspect it is not finding them. Sometimes timeout issue. So I mean, I will show you how to, what are the different timeout available, right? Implicit timeout, explicit timeout, and fluent timeout in the later session. So sometimes, suppose if you want to retrieve a page, but it is taking more than 30 minutes time, right? It will by default suppose to wait for 5 seconds. So it will not be possible, right? So it will again fail. So that will be covered in the next session. Sometimes exceptions occur, right, during the runtime. So for this important scenario, we need to capture screenshot. So capturing screenshot in Selenium WebDriver is 3-step process. First one is that we need to use the text screenshot, that interface, and it's the interface, right? So you need to typecast the driver. I already mentioned multiple times, for interface we can't create an object condition directly. We need to typecast the driver. So once we have created an object condition for that interface, then we need to use a file, right? Okay, since text screenshot is the interface, user can't create an object directly. User need to convert the WebDriver object to text screenshot. Okay, after that user need to call get screenshot as methods available in the text screenshot interface to create an image file which will provide by the screenshot interface to capture the screenshot of the web page displayed in the driver object. Okay, so you can see with the help of file class I can create a source file, right, where I'll be using that screenshot object to an object, and I'll be using get screenshot as methods, and it will be output.file because it is file type. Here the argument output type.file specified the get screenshot as method will return the capture screenshot in the form of file. Okay, because I want to get it file, right? It can be some document or some kind of stuff. I want to get it in a file. Therefore, user can store in the variable src file with the file type. Okay, after I store it in src file, I need to save it, right? So how can I save it? Save the file object returned by get screenshot as method using copy methods, right? Available in the file handler class. File handler class copy source file, and where I need to paste the file is save the file, I will give it destination file. So this is the three important stuff or important step you need to follow for capturing screenshot. You need to create a object first for the text screenshot interface. You need to create a source file where you will be saving it with the file type, and then you will be with the help of file handler class you will be copying the source file to the destination file so that it will be saved in the destination file. Suppose the similar part I want to, after it is capture is happening, I want to capture the screenshot, right? You already see in the here, after drag and drop is happening, I want to capture the screenshot. I want to take a screenshot. So how can I do it? So first I need to create a object or variable for the text screenshot class, right? So I'll be using that same thing, text screenshot. As it is interface, suppose say your I am creating that variable equal to, as is the interface I need to typecast it, right? Screenshot. I need to typecast driver, and I need to keep one more bracket here. So the first step is done. You can see some, yes.
Yeah, so we cannot directly create an object and instance.
Yeah, for the interface, right? Because it is the interface, so we can't directly create an object or instance, right? We have to typecast the driver. It is a class, we can directly create an object or instance, right? Okay. So you can see here it is text screenshot. Okay, S should be caps. Okay, in case some error message is there, it will give you suggestion. Okay, so Java is case sensitive, so you need to remember it. Okay, you can see now it is fine. Then you need to create a source file, right, where you will be placing the screenshot. So I am using the file class. So this is the class, file is the class, so I can create a directly class, object or instance, right, for the file class. So src file, source file equal to, that is the screenshot object reference right. Then I will be using get screenshot as method, right, scr.get screenshot, that is the method available here. And here type I need to is output type dot file, because I want to store it in the file, output puttyp dot file. So that is the important thing you need to remember it. Definitely you have to memorize it, otherwise it will be tough. Few other thing definitely need to. You can see some error is coming because I need to import the file class, right? You can see from the java.io. So you can see immediately I can create an object or instance, right, without any typecasting, because it is a class. In case it is the interface, we have to typecast the driver. We can't directly create an object or instance. Then in which file I need to save it, right? So also I need to create a same thing, which file I need to create it. I need to store it, source file, right? So file, instead of source file I will be using a destination file, DEST, destination file. So it will be new file, and here you need to give the path of the file. Suppose I want to store in D drive, right, and I want to store in some name. Okay, so I am giving the path here. Okay, suppose the name I am giving is, suppose say here anything, suppose test 1, 1, 2, 3, like that, and date, then dot png, that format I want to save it, right? In the destination file I want to create a new folder, new file called test123.png, so it will be saved here. Okay, then I need to use the last part, right, 3, save the file, and I need to copy and paste the source file to the destination file so that it will be created. So I will be using file handler class dot copy. I need to copy it, right, copy. What I need to copy? Source file to the destination, which is, you can see everything is coming, right? So that is the thing. It's very sensitive. Selenium WebDriver is also kind of logically work. Okay, you need to surround with some throw declaration, or you need to surround with a try catch block. Okay. Now let's run the code and let's see whether that file is created here with that particular screenshot, right, after moving the draggable to the droppable part. Let's run it once more time. So now there is no folder is available, right? Test 1 to 3 folder is, test 1 to 3 for that particular folder is not available in that package, right? So it will create a new folder, or let's remove all the things, all the PNG file. Let's remove it. So I am removing all the PNG file. So there is no PNG file available, right? Only two text file available, but I am storing it in the PNG file. Test 1 to 3. Let's run the code and let's see. So it is dragging and dropping. It's working fine, and I need to write out. I need to find out whether that screenshot has been taken care. Right? That screenshot has been taken by the system. No, it is not taken. One second. After that perform, I am creating a options called drag and drop. Okay, perform text screenshot. Okay, new file here. Source file, destination file. Okay, I no need to. It is, I don't need to use that options. Let's remove it. Here some error message is coming. Instead of that try catch block, I will be surrounding with, say, add throw declaration here. Okay, I need to use IO exceptions. Okay, maybe sometime it is not working. I need to handle the IO exception instead of try catch block. Let's run it once more time and let's see whether it's happening or not. Otherwise, I will try with different options. It's happening. Let's see to the D drive. Well, let's see whether it's creating a folder or not. Okay, it is still not creating. Okay, so here instead of that part, right, test 1 to 3 PNG file, maybe it is not creating. So we'll be creating a file. Okay, got it. So here I no need to use the double slash because it is a path. I need to use single slash. Let's try it. Why it is coming? Error message is coming. I will be using that options called single slash. That way I need to use it. Whenever I want to store into the file, instead of double slash, I need to use that option. Backslash, not the forward slash. Let's try once more time and let's see whether it's happening or not. So definitely whenever you will be working, you will be going through some challenges. Sometimes something may not work right with the normal convention, and you have to do some analysis. Definitely you can get to know. No, it is still not working. So I'll be using another lines of code here. So I'll be using that. Okay, got it. So PNG part I need to separate it in different way. Okay, so here I will be using that option first, and then PNG file PNG part I will be concatenating it, right, with the help of that one. Let's see whether it's working. Or instead of that I will be using d.selenium path, right, d.selenium path, d.selenium here, and here I will be concatenating once again with the system dot current time instead of any name. So it will be by default, it will be taking the system time stamp. So I will be using plus sign again here, plus sign system dot current times millis. No. System dot current times in millis, current times in millisecond. So by default that will be created, and then I am using a concatenation again to add the PNG file, and I am using it. .png, it can be any kind of format. Let's run it again. Let's see whether it's happening or not. It should happen. Okay, drag and drop is happening. No, it's still not happening here. D drive, then Selenium, it's not creating. Okay, I'm just using the similar lines of code. Let's see whether it's working or not. Same thing, maybe some mistake I am doing here. So instead of that same line of code I'll be using, let's similar way, try to paste it. Okay, let's try to comment out it. Resource add block comment. So take screenshot, okay, driver, then source file, get screenshot file, and then here d selenium. Okay, I am giving the bucket also, and source file, and okay, I have given the source file and source file same thing. I did not given the destination file, right? That is the reason it's coming. Okay, I did not given the destination. It's here source and source, that is the reason it's not creating. Okay, let's remove it, and here I need to give it destination, dest. Oh god, I was not able to identify it. Okay, now it will work. So it is fine. Now if you want to go to the D drive, you can see, right, the one file is created with the timestamp, and if you open it, you can see it. So why we used to create the timestamp, right? Suppose say in case you are creating with some hard-coded name, so every time the same name you have to change it manually, right? Otherwise that file will be replaced. But if you don't want to replace the file, right? So that is the reason. So you need to use that keyword so that it will be saving by the timestamp, and you can get the screenshot here. Why it is not opening here? It's taking some time. Definitely you can view it. Okay, so that is the reason we should use, instead of some hard coding value, definitely you can give the path and you can use that command system dot current time millisecond, and then the format. It can be jpg, png, or right I mean these are the three things you mentioned, right? It can be any kind of format: png, jpg, or jpg. Let's open it. Okay, it's still not opening. Let's open it in the other format. Edit with photos. Why it is taking so much time? Okay, it's still working. That is the reason it's not opening. But your screenshot has taken. Again, if you run your code, you can see again another screenshot will taken with the current millisecond format, right? Okay, so that is the reason there is no chances. Suppose if you want to take multiple screenshots for each and every page, so you need to use the system current millisecond format, so you can get to know the screenshot one by one. If you run it again, it will generate another screenshot. So let's run the lines of code and let's see. Then after that, we will try to open both the screenshots. So that is the reason you should not give any hard coded name. Okay, it's right protected. So it will try to run the lines of code. It is running. You can dragging and drop is happening, and after that it is closing it, right? So in the 1 second, I need to close the file. Maybe we are running it so many times, that is the reason it's got hanged. Let's try to open it D drive once more. Okay, I'm opening my D drive again. Selenium. You can see two folders created, right? Again another PNG file is created. Now let's try to open one thing. Not sure whether some problem is there with my PNG file or not. It can be with my in my laptop it is not there, right? Let's try to open it in the other format. Okay, photos. So definitely you can get to know your screenshot. Okay, so no need to worry, it's already saved. So you can try it and you can get your screenshot right for that particular page whenever drag and drop is happening. I will wait for some time. I'm not able to view in photos mode also. Okay, Ankur, are you able to get it? So that part you definitely screenshot is getting generated. You can view it. Some problem is happening with my laptop. That is the reason I am not able to show you. Otherwise, whatever drag and drop is happening, right? So that part, that screenshot, full page, it will take the screenshot with the help of that method. You can try from your side, and definitely it will give you that screenshot. Okay, how many screenshot if you want to take it? Let's try it once more time. I will show you. So if you run it once more time again, so it will take another, it will create another PNG file, right? So two already generated. Let's run it with any other thing. Paint. Let's see whether it's opening in the paint or not. Yeah, you can see it is opening in the paint, right? That part. Are you able to see it, Ankur? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So some of the script we are doing some mistake, okay? So you need to use source and destination, but we are using source all the time. Now if you want to save it in, suppose say other format, right? I was mentioning, right? That part. Suppose say test123, suppose say test123. Let's run it and let's see whether it's a test123 file is creating or not. So whatever way, in case you want to give any hard-coded thing, you can give it, but definitely I will not suggest to give any hard-coded thing. You need to use that millisecond format, so that by default you will, I mean, you no need to replace any screenshot and you can get to know, right? You can see test 1 to 3 is generated, right? With the timestamp you can see is 9:50 p.m. right to 1:50, and my time is 20:50. So by the timestamp you can get to know, and if you want to open it with pen, say, you can get pen, open it. Okay, so that's why it is working. Now say, okay, I want to capture screenshot for each and every page, right? So you can use it, that function, right? That's for each and every page. But definitely in case of any small change, right, it will create problem. So that is the reason it is better to create a new class for the capturing screenshot, right? So I will be creating a new class. So how you can create a class? Sorry, how you can create a methods in the class level? So I will be creating a class here, right? In the class level, I will be creating a method. So method name will be, you already know how to create a method: public, static, right, void, and suppose a method name I am using as take screenshot. Take screenshot. That is the method I am creating here, and I am passing WebDriver equal to driver. That is the variable I am passing it, and string file path. Okay, string, it will be string. So you already know, you need how to create a function. You need to give double bracket, right? So here I will be copying that lines of code here, okay, instead of hard coding it here. So just let's comment it out, the code. So I am commenting out here, right, and I am taking the same lines of code here and I am pasting it, because I am creating a new function, and here instead of that file, right, file path, I will be using as file path, that variable, because I am passing it, right, through my script. Now you can see some error message is still there. I need to surround with declaration, so I will be using IO exception. So I am creating a method or function. So in case I want to take 100 screenshot in a particular lines of code, right, so I will be calling it, that method, instead of lining lines of code, similar lines of code multiple times. And in case some changes, I will change in the method level, right? So I am passing the driver reference and the file path, okay, and here instead of the path I am giving it the file path reference. Then now suppose, say, if I want to again remove all the PNG file from that path, okay, and here suppose after opening the page I want to take a screenshot. So how can I get the screenshot? So I will be calling that function, right? How can I call the function? I will be calling that class here. Then once I call the class, then I can get the method, because I have declared a static method. That is the reason immediately is coming. In case you did not add the static, so you have to create a first object orientation for the class. After that you can access that method, right? But I have created a method static. So here you can pass these two variables, right? One is the driver I am passing is for the WebDriver, and file path I need to provide it. So file path I will be providing is ddrive, and then what is the path? Selenium, right? Selenium. So here I am not giving any hard coded thing, right? So I will be using system.millis. So plus system.millisecond, current times in millis, and then I will be using another concatenation keyword, and then I am giving that file path type, right, whether it's PNG or JPG, like that, dot PNG or JPG, anything you can give it. So it will create the screenshot for that after opening the page. Again, if I, after performing the thing, right, if I want to take a screenshot again I will do the same thing. So I will be giving again system.current millisecond dot jpeg. So you can see this is the very easiest way, right? That is the reason we can create an object or instance. Sorry, we can create a method for this functionality which will be used multiple times instead of hard coding it. Now, if you run it, so after opening that page, it will take the screenshot, first one screenshot, and after performing the operation, drag and drop, it will take again another screenshot. Okay. So let's run the code and let's see whether two screenshot is generated and saved in the D drive Selenium folder. So it is opening that particular page. Immediately after that, screenshot will be taken after opening the page. After that, again it will do the it will identify the draggable and droppable option. It will move that drag to drop option, and again it will take the screenshot because I have used that take screenshot method twice, right? So it will create screenshot twice time. One is that, and another is after opening the page. So let's go to the deep drive, and you can see two screenshot is generated, right? And timestamp you can see. If you open it, okay, it will not opening, so I will be opening that options. Instead of that, open with Paint. So you can see this after opening the page, right? That is the page after opening the page, you can see here. So it is after opening the page. Another is after dragging and dropping, right? So if you open it, you can see another thing is coming, drag and drop, right? So two screenshot I can get it with the same method name. Okay, understandable? Any questions? Okay, great. The last topic for today is like, in case if we want to upload any files, right? So how can I do it? So uploading files in WebDriver is done by simply using the send keys method. You already know, right? Send keys, where I can type, right, some input field in a drop down, right? If I want to suppose type ABC, I can also do it. Similarly, with the help of send keys method, I can also provide the file path so that it will give me, it will upload that file, right? So uploading files in WebDriver is done by simply using the send keys method on the file select input field to enter the path of the file to be uploaded, right? So suppose say this is the URL. If I open that URL, okay, so you can find options where we can right, choose a file option, right? Choose file option. So here if you select any file here, suppose say from the D drive itself, right? I can go to the D drive and I can select any file, right? In the Selenium file, suppose I have captured so many screenshots. If I open it, you can see it is getting entered, right? And immediately it is coming. So how can you select with the help of choose file? Okay, so let's open the page here. So first I need to open the page here. So let's comment out all the lines of code. So replace that path. Okay, so once I replace that path, then I need to first inspect the element, right? That file upload options element. So I will be creating wave element. Wave element. Suppose I am giving the name as file upload, and I need to inspect it, right, first. So let's press F12 button from your keyboard and let's try to inspect that element. So you can see some name is coming, right? Upload file. So with the help of name properties, I can inspect that file, right? So it will be driver dot find element by dot name. I can identify it. So what is the name? Upload file is the name, or ID can be there. With the help of ID you can do it. So okay, with the help of file name I can identify it. Okay, wave element, E should be caps. . Okay, element, you can see it's showing some error message in case you are not typing it correctly. Okay, then with that particular object reference you can use send keys method, dot send keys, right, and you can give the path here. Suppose that path, I first you want to use that path, and here, and you can give the file name, suppose any file, suppose that file name I want to attach it, right, so it is text file dot txt, any file name you gave it with the extension, correct extension, so it will be working, right. And if you want to print something that your file upload is successfully done or not, so I can give some message to the console, so text file upload done successfully. Okay, so what we are doing, we are opening the page, we are clicking on the choose file options, then here we are giving the path of the file, complete path and file name. After that it will be automatically attached here, and you can see the file here. So let's close this line, this browser, and let's run the code, and let's see whether this file upload is happening with the help of send keys, where we are passing the details path of the file we need to attach it. So it is opening here that page, then it will be going to that options, right. In case it is not working, you need to scroll your page, right, so that you can view it. You can see here you can already attach, so sometime it can work and sometime it will not work. So in case it is not working, you need to scroll view your page, right. You can see it is already attached, selenium.file, right. Now again run your code, and you can see output is coming, text file upload done successfully. If you run it once again, or if you directly want to view it, you need to use that option, scroll your page to that particular element location, so you can view it directly whether it's happening or not. Here you need to scroll your page down, right, though it is working but it is not able to see it, so you need to scroll your page. Sorry, 1 second, you move to the different page. So upload will be successfully done, yeah, and if you scroll bar, you can see here it is getting attached, right, selenium.java text file, whatever path you have given it. Okay, that one, that file name is text file. So that's why if you know the file location, and if you know the that options, right, choose file, so you can give it the path, and you can associate the file with the help of send keys method, right. So uploading file is very easy in Selenium WebDriver, which can be done with the help of send keys method on the file select input field to enter the path of the file to be uploaded. Okay, so that's all for today's session.